Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Monday Night Football. For the first time in the channel, we've been blessed with a great weekend of action. Entertaining throughout. We had Friday night football, lunchtime football over there in England between Millwall and Middlesbrough. We got kicked into one of the great comebacks on Friday. Then queuing Saturday, where we got to see Manchester City absolutely demolish Liverpool. And then today, well, this could be very, very intriguing. The most informed side in Italy, maybe even the world right now in Como, taking on Udinese. Both teams having fantastic campaigns this season. But Como have caught the eyes of many. Nico Pats, Cesc Fabregas, the young brigade down on the lake there have been doing fantastic work this season. Currently sitting in fourth in the Serie A, only 5 points back of last season's champions, Napoli. 3 points clear of chasing Juventus and looking like they're going to be good for Champions League football. We've Monday midday football over there, watching the occasion. A lot of people around the world will be watching this one here. And you've got some big names. Diego Carlos, Oliver Kempf, Jean Boutte, but none bigger than Nico Pats for Como. And he has been such a key figure to this side here. But it hasn't just been him. It has been the backline led by Boutte, Carlos, Kempf, Alex Valle. The second best defence in Serie A. Only conceding 22 goals this campaign. And they've gone and scored 53 goals, which is, secondary to Inter Milan. So one of the best defences in the league, near on the world, and then one of the best attacks in Serie A as well. It is absolutely flowing right now for Como. For Udinese, well, they've been quite impressive in recent times. They've held that mid-table position, sitting in 11th. They've sort of been there all season long. Them and Sassuolo battling to secure that top half finish. But they come to this game with the belief they can cause some problems. Going forward has not been their best suit, but Zaniolo up there has caused some problems. The big news being Davis is missing the key man. He scored 10 goals this season out through suspension. So they'll miss him in this lineup here. We'll go through the lineups while we're at it. For Udinese first, it's Okoye in goal. He's had a fantastic Cabasele, Soleil, Christensen, Kamara alongside Ezebue as the wing-backs, Pietrowski and Karlström, the skipper, in midfield with Atta, Ekkelenkamp and Zaniolo leading the line. For Cesc Fabregas, Jean Boutte, Alex Valle, Smolcic, Diego Carlos, Oliver Kempf, Maxime Perrone and Dacunia in midfield. Kakare, Nico Pats, Ascendiao in the starting 11 and Dulvikas leading the line. So the big news obviously being no Davis for Udinese. On the bench for Cesc Fabregas, you've got the likes of Kun, Sergio Roberto, Alvaro Morata, Vojvoda and Martin Baturina, who are looking to go to the World Cup with Croatia. Two of the great midfielders in the league there, shaking hands before we get ready for kickoff, which should be around a minute away now. A little bit delayed from the start here. See those in the booth there for VAR. Let me know your predictions, guys, in the comments section. I'm going to go with a Como 3-1 victory today. They've been very, very good going forward this season, and I just think there'll be no difference here, especially with the likes of Ascendiao, Nico Pats up there. And Dulvikas seems to just know how to find the back of the net whenever they call on him. Massive midfield battle, though, to be won today. Dacunia, Perrone, they're solid. But when you've got the physicality of Karlström and the quality of Pietrowski on the football, it's going to be a good battle. And I think that's what we'll be excited about today, seeing that midfield. But look at the Como fans in force for this one here. Easter Monday football doesn't get much better than this. Great to see the numbers joining in. Appreciate the shout, my man Elijah. I know, live in 6 days. Elijah saved me some embarrassment today. Apparently I was going live for this game 6 days in the future, but we're here now. Welcome everybody in. Monday football. It started on Friday. Had a Saturday kick-off of the FA Cup. Now we've got some League Serie A football here. Here we go, we're underway. Como get us kicked off in their change white strip, kicking from right to left. They'll look to continue the best form they have in Serie A right now. Take on an Udinese side that are never easy to come up against. Just ask some of the big sides in the division. Udinese in the traditional black and white strip. They'll be kicking from left to right. It's Monday Night Football here in the Players Own channel. Cannot wait for this one here. As I said, guys, 3-1 prediction for myself. Let me know your predictions in the comments section. Massive crowd in for this live stream, as we always do for Serie A kickoffs. Great energy and sound in the Udinese stadium today. These fans believe. Elijah, we're daily until at least match day 3. And then we're doing double game days and match day 3 for the World Cup. Guys, if you're just joining us for the first time, a lot planned for the World Cup. Daily live streams, and then we'll be doing double streams on the final match day to make sure we cover every single game as each team competes for those third place positions and also the top 2 spots. So more of this to come for the FIFA World Cup. Only a month or so, 2 months' time now, just around the corner. Here's Smolcic. Now Hassan Diao, personal favourite of mine, has had injury problems. Like Batterina's confidence and form has sort of kept him out of the side at times, but looking for him to get a good little run of form as we approach the latter stage of the season, and maybe going forward, he'll want to try and make an international side in due course. Como owning the ball early on. Did discuss that in the podcast last week, especially with the recent struggle for the Italian national team, that in the Serie A, a lot of teams play pragmatic, combative, defensive-orientated football. Como are the exception to the fact, and if you remember back earlier, I think match day 7, when Milan beat Como, I think 3-1, Maxime Allegri played a very, very low block, and Cesc Fabregas came out and rightly pointed out that negative football he'll never play and he'll get a side nowhere. Fast forward a couple of months, and here we are with Como in the top 4, playing the best football in the division and sitting in 4th place looking for Champions League football next season. What a turnaround for this club. Elijah, I just love this league. I'm probably the one out in many regards. Not many people rate the Serie A, but I think it's one of the best leagues in the world, especially when you've got teams like Como bopping the ball about like they are here. Here's Valle. Diego Carlos. Good to see the Brazilian fit this season. It was a common problem for him once he moved to the Premier League with Aston Villa. He couldn't stay on the park. His time in La Liga did some fantastic work. The Premier League just saw him always on the medical bench. I don't actually support anyone in this area. I love Como. I love Nico Pats. I love what Inzaghi did with Inter Milan, but no actual favourite team. Score prediction, I've gone with a 3-1. Love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments as we go around the corner there. Ball just runs through into Jean Boutet. As he always is, off his line, sweeping up for the Como back line. He will try and keep as high a line as possible and pedal Udinese in as Cacré was pulled to ground there. There he is, Cesc Fabregas on screen. The Spaniard bringing the Spanish thrill to Serie A. If you're looking at Udinese, you're looking to the likes of Zaniolo, leading the line, has got a strong record this season as he looks to refine his best form. And also, I'm going to be keen on Atta today, who is a player that hasn't had the output this campaign, but has looked quite dangerous in matches I've kept an eye on him. So, look, the fans are out in force, so they're in great voice. They might give us one of the great upsets today, because I don't think anyone gives Udinese much of a chance for this Como side, and the way they're just absolutely flowing right now. But as you watch more Serie A, you know that any team can beat anyone on any given day. The likes of Sassuolo, the Udinese, the Parmas, the Genoas, are never free victories. I'll tell you what, Nicolo Zaniolo's got his hands full for him today. Diego Carlos and Oliver Kempf back there. Hassan Diao now. Diao, great cutback. Oh, shots blocked. Dulvikas, Pats, corner kick, the first of the game, goes the way of Como as they attack the Udinese home end. Great flowing move there, down the right-hand side, but Diao. So Kakare looks like he'll play out wide left. Nico Pats, as we expect, down the middle, and Diao will be on the right-hand channel. Corner kick now. Como, their first opportunity to whip a ball into the box. Dacuña goes short. Here's Kakare. Dacuña's left-footed in-swinging ball. Got the first contact. Oh, Diego Carlos at the back post. Demanding for a corner kick. He might have just got under that ball there and skied it over the crossbar. First chance, unsurprisingly, going the way of the visitors. Yeah, no touch there from Cebuze. Okoye looking long. Zaniolo has to fight against Oliver Kempf. Unable to do so. Nico Pads into Kakare. Looking for the return pass, but just had to reach the Argentine who scored an international break for Argentina. That's well run by Kakare. Oh, Perone. Oh. And Dulvikas had his effort blocked. And almost a half chance. And there you can see last 10 games for Como. First in points, goals scored, goals conceded, and pass accuracy. It is a high-flowing system right now. And look, you expect like Nico Pants to be attracted away into like Real Madrid. Inter Milan also invested. You might see Martin Baturina also being sold as well. But if they can keep the core players, in particular the likes of Dacuña, Kakare, Maxime Perone in midfield, that's a trio, and you can keep Diao for one more season. Dulvikas can continue his form. This could be a sign of things to come in Serie A. I think next season, with a fit Napoli side, Inter trying to go back-to-back, AC Milan building, and this Como side looking better and better, we could get a 4 to 5 horse title race. Cross goes in, not fully dealt with in the end by Alex Valle. The ball's hit the corner flag and in the end goes out of play. And a bit of afters there. There's a Bue. What are the... bit of a chat there with Alex Valle. Caracelle throwing himself to the ground after getting high up the pitch. Good to see, though, Alex Valle getting a start. Obviously, they've got Alberto Moreno. They've played some of the older, experienced players in the past, Como, but now it really feels like it's the youthful young 11 which they're going with. Ezibouze will throw this ball in, but it's been delayed now by the referee. So Ezibouze will launch it again. First contact was by Oliver Kempf. Smolcic goes out to meet camera, and Diao nicks that away. Here comes Como on the break. They're so dangerous in these positions. Diao with pace to burn. Udinese scrambling back to get numbers behind the ball. Still Diao. Diao still. Dulvikas, his pass left short of Nico Pats. But Udinese aren't out. Maxime Perone. That shot takes a deflection, but took the sting out of it. And Okoye can quite comfortably claim. Ten minutes in. Really all Como so far. 65% possession. Already the 6 shots on goal. They've had a corner kick already. Udinese just want to get their foot in the football. I think as long as you can keep Como defending and chasing ball, the better. Got a really solid shape here. That's a great ball in behind for Atta. Is he onside? Atta! Oh! Great save from Jean Boutet. The flag in the end goes up, but that's a massive chance for the man I was talking about earlier in the game, Atta. Really sort of strong, tall build. The modern day build for some of these attackers. Like Alexander Isak, Hugo Katike, Benjamin Šeško. I feel like he is going to be the man in this one here. Zaniolo will have to battle against two centre-halves, which will make his life very, very difficult. So Atta could be the man to get off the leash here. Cabasele, physical as ever. And back to his keeper, Okoye. But Udinese just showing signs here, after Azor Como in the early proceedings, that they have fights. They have the capacity to take it to this Como side that, at the moment, look unbeatable. Soleil. Camera now wide left. He will stretch the game as much as possible. Atta's back heel. Got to Zaniolo, but he was crowded out. And Jimbote has to, quite skillfully, keep possession for Como. They put themselves under pressure here. No fouls as the referee. The Cunha was bundled over by Nicolas Zaniolo, but there was no Udinese players looking for the second ball. So Como have it back. After a slightly worrying moment there. Here's Maxime Perrone. He's had a fantastic season for Como. Like many of the players in this side here, but I really have been impressed with Perrone and Cunha in midfield. Kempf. Last time we watched Como was on the score sheet for the side. Diego Carlos. Searching ball for Assane Diao. Looked to thread the ball into Dovicas, but it was blocked there by Camara. Put money in this game. I respect being honest there, man. I actually wish I put some money in this game, yeah. I'm hoping you put money, Scodia, on a Como win, because they look the good so far. Good to see so many in here for this Monday. I believe mostly public holidays around the world, or bank holidays, I don't know what they call it in the UK there. We get some football to be excited about here. Lunchtime in Italy. What is my second favourite league in the world? I'd love to hear people's thoughts in the comment section of the recent shambles of Italian football in terms of them not making the World Cup for a third successive time. That's given away. Christensen gives it to Nico Pats. Via now. You just flick on the turnover. That's where Como do their best work. So anytime Udinese give the ball away, they've got to be quick to get back in numbers. Kakare now. For the time being, he operates down the centre. Nico Pats dropping a little bit deeper. I appreciate the subscribe, my man. Good to have you in, Scodia. Let me know what you had money on for this game. I'll back it in all the way then. Can't say I've had a great weekend on the punt, so if you can get up, I'm happy for you. Here's Jean Boutte. Fantastic noise in the arena today. Beautiful day for football. And hopefully we get the quality to show for it. As Jean Boutte just takes his time over this ball. And then goes along, looking for Assane Diao. But Okoye off his line to come and clean that up. Keeper to keeper for a moment. Approaching the quarter of an hour mark. The game just dropped a little bit in tempo after a quite frenetic start. At the moment, Udinese are just happy to keep ball. And as I said, that's what they'll want to do in this game. Try and take as much of the sting out of the Como game as possible. Isibue. Atta. They've all come compact in. Zaniolo, Atta, and Isibue. That's a great crossfield ball to find Camara. And numbers are getting into the box now. Camara. Try to take on Smolcic, and I wouldn't recommend that. Fullback. Such a good 1v1 defender. Atta looked offside. That's the second time he's been flagged in the first quarter of an hour. So, offside against Atta, but he continues to look to stretch the back line. Camara, such a touchline wing back, and he's also done his best work on that touchline and stretching his Como back forward that already plays such a high line and look to be so aggressive on the football that there's opportunities for Udinese today to get at this Como side. By no means the favourite, but home crowd advantage Haven't lost a Como at home in their history. History is on their side. The form, though, not. Como coming this side. The form side in world football. Bute. That's a great ball to find Duvikas. He's got all the space in the world. One way to the next. Finding Nico Pat. Little dink ball back for Duvikas. Never quite sat for him. Duvikas. That ball out of play. That was a really, really worrying moment for Udinese. Because Duvikas had way too much space to collect that long ball. And if he had more numbers up with him, it really should have been 1-0. Ezebue in the end, bundling Duvikas over the line. Pads. Great turn out of danger. Oh, and he got caught in the ball. Zaniolo now. Can Udinese get at Como on the counter-attack? Zaniolo kept it. But in the end, had deemed to have found Perona in the process. Camp starting that counter-attack by catching Nico Pads out. Something you don't see every day of the week. Ascendiao now. Got a fair bit of the football in the early portions this one here. We're 16 down. Boba, I've gone with a Como 3-1 win. If you haven't watched much Como or Serie A in recent times, they are the team to beat. 5 straight victories. The best defence in Serie A with 22 conceded. And the second best attack with 52 goals scored this season. Just behind Inter Milan, who put 5 past Roma yesterday. And assuming all these live streams, a lot of new people to the channel. It'll be something we're talking about tomorrow on the podcast that will come out Wednesday midday here in Australia and Wednesday morning over there in Europe. So if you're in Europe, Wednesday morning, the Away Days podcast comes out. A lot of conversation about the Bundesliga games. They were frenetic Saturday and Sunday. And we'll be talking about Inter Milan's victory over Roma. And tonight's game, Napoli and Milan will discuss as well. Top 10 central defensive midfielders as well on the podcast this week. So keep an eye out. The clips will be coming out. I think the clip went out just a couple minutes earlier before the live stream of top 10 breakthrough players. And one of them, Nathan put, was Duvikas, the man leading the line today for Como. More content coming, I promise. We had an interesting Christmas period in terms of a bit of a lack of content coming out, but more live streams on the weekends as we approach the World Cup, which will be a live stream every single day, and then every single game wrapped up and live streamed on the final match day. It's going to be chaos. The biggest World Cup yet means the biggest World Cup effort for me. So if you're new here, I hope you stay with us over June and July for what's going to be a very, very exciting World Cup. A World Cup which Italy won't be at as we watch Serie A football, which is quite ironic. Here's Smolcic. Como just keeping the ball at the moment. 66% possession for them. Still at 6 shots. Haven't had an effort on goal since the early moments of the game. They got 6 early shots on goal. Great turn from Ascendiao, who did have foul apparently whilst doing so. So Udinese keep the ball. Man down for the moment, but here they come with Nicolo Zaniolo. Great reverse ball for Atta. And he's been pushed over. That has to be a penalty. No penalty, says the referee. VAR might have a look at it though. Here comes Nico Pats the other way. That's a controversial moment there. Diego Carlos looked to have bundled over Atta in the box. And the Udinese players will go over to the referee now and say, can we have a look at that? Atta yet again. He got the ball. Fair play from Diego Carlos. He got a foot on the football. I don't know if he spotted that, but fair play if he did. Referee Fabio Moresca today. Here is Axvaya now. It's a great run from Smolcic in behind. And great first touch and secondary touch. Assane Diao now into Nico Paz. Maxime Peronet. Great ball. Dacunha's cut back. Oh, I think it was Duvikas there. Inside the 6-yard box. I wanted to get in the end of that. And Como just upping the gears. That looks very, very dangerous. Dacunha. He was the man that put that ball in the box there. Such a dangerous ball. And almost 1-0 for Duvikas. But Udinese hold on. Maxime Peronet. Great switch of play to find Alex Valle. Pat's just dropping a little bit deeper to allow Kakare in this hole. Kakare, oh, looked for Duvikas. Just too much on it. And too much for him to stretch to go and get. So Koye quite gratefully has it. Elijah, I'll get some of the kits ready. We'll have a shorter break than at halftime today. We'll come back 5 minutes earlier, guys. I think I'm up to 9 or 10 World Cup kits. We're in the Amad Diallo now, so that's exciting. Here's Atto on the inside. Zaniolo was waiting and delayed the pass, Atto, and then the attack got stopped. So, opportunity missed there. Udinese here with Christensen. Zaniolo dropping into the little pocket, turning away from Dacunha and keeping it for Camara. Kitrowski now. A great switch. As Eboué looked for it, but in the end out for a goal kick for Jim Boutte. Do I get paid off YouTube? That's a very great question, Liza. No. There is the membership option available. I haven't done many member videos for a while because we didn't get many joining, but maybe over the World Cup we can get some member exclusive videos, and as such, the membership can be a way to support the channel. We're hoping for the World Cup we can get some money in via advertisements, but we'll have to wait and see for that, Elijah. But right now, the YouTube is for the fun, the love of the game, love of football, and because I love watching and breaking down football. Valle. That's a nice little ball to find Duvikas. Dacunha now taken down by Eboué. 4-0, you reckon, Elijah? That is bold. You know, I wouldn't put it past Como, though. They can turn it on in a flash. Great turn from Assane Diao. That's like a very, very good challenge. Yeah, the referee agrees with me. He's gone to ground and stayed at the ground there. Cabasele throwing his body around. Now Zaniolo. Think pass, looking for the return ball there, but Kempf puts it out of play. As we see the Como chairman leaving his seat. Bad timing to pan across the chairman there. Halfway through the first half now. Still no goals, but bucketloads of entertainment so far. If you're just joining us, I went with a 3-1 prediction. We've got Elijah with a 4-0 prediction. And we've got a man backing in Como, I believe, in the watch party as well. Wanting a little rundown on these two sides. Udinese sitting 11th in Serie A, negative goal difference, but have been an overachiever this year. Lines of Kenan Davis, who's missing today, and Nicolo Zaniolo have been so important. Captain Karlstrom in midfield has been fantastic. Piotrowski as well. Smolcic trying to feed Duvikas. As for Como, the most informed team in Serie A. Up in the 4th place right now, looking for Champions League football under Cesc Fabregas. They've got the great Nico Paz, who we can expect in a Real Madrid uniform next season, or potentially even an Inter Milan uniform. They've got one of the best young teams in world football. Secondary to Inter Milan in terms of the best attack in Serie A, but the best defence also. So they play exciting attacking football against the grain in Serie A, and yet they still have the best defence. Kakare caught on it, but fouled by Karlstrom. He's not happy, the skipper. Good to see somebody in today on a Monday. Lunchtime in Europe. Dinner time here in Australia. A lot to wrap up, though, on the podcast this week. Because we've had a lot of football being played outside of England. And that's what we cover on the podcast. So make sure to check that one out. Coming out Wednesday. Carlos drilled into the feet of Kakare, and he then went down. And it's getting pretty physical out there. Ezebue and Vaya going at it once again. These two don't like each other. Ezebue had a high elbow that hit Kakare. He didn't like that, and Alex Vaya went in to go and back his teammate up and clattered Ezebue. And now it's all getting a little bit feisty between the wingback and the fullback. That's just going to add to the plot of this one here. And Fabio Maresca, the referee, just getting a few words in to a few of the invested parties. He's gone about this quite well. After a little bit of a scuffle, we're back playing football. And Christensen will get us back underway. Udinese now with Soleil. And Christensen. So the back three, they've been tested so far with some quality attacking football on display from Como, but haven't really been outplayed as of yet. Como haven't quite strung it all together. The worry is, though, when they do, what's going to happen then? Here's Cabasele as Udinese keep playing the ball across the back line. At a little dink to find Zaniolo. Zaniolo loses it. Pet on it. Oh, great footwork. Oh, and loses it eventually. But Zaniolo now comes away with it. Ekalakan. Ekalakan finds Atta. Lost his footing. Camera now. Great ball. Ezebue at the back stick. Ezebue. Ekalakan. Oh. And it fell to the skipper, Karlstrom, but had his shot blocked. And the manager absolutely loves that. The best Udinese move so far. Now we're just sort of piling in the box there. And you just had a feeling that it might end up in the back of the net. That body's in the way. The most important block coming from Diego Carlos. So a long throw time again. Ezebue to launch this one in. Instead it goes short to Zaniolo. It's now with Christensen. Soleil. Nico Pants is all over him like a rash. And he's forced Soleil all the way back to his keeper. That's fantastic pressing from the Argentine Nico Pats. Atta, Camera. This is great movement for Udinese. Kellerkamp's in there. Sent back to Soleil. Great footwork. Atta, once again, in between the lines. Looks for the return ball to Soleil, but an important intervention there by Diego Carlos, because for a moment, it looked like the centre-half had made a great marauding run through. Really good fight back here for Udinese. They're going to take this game to Como. Zaniolo continues to just operate wherever he wants to. And it's working right now for Udinese. Zaniolo looking for Atta. Unable to reach him. And here come Como on the break. Long balls. Very long. Took the wrong club, that one there. From Maxime Perrone. Dovicas couldn't, in his best, chase that one down. So Cabasele now. Once again, Atta being found, and Ezebue now with his big rival in front of him, Alex Valle. Couple step overs from Ezebue. Eventually now releases Zaniolo. Continues to be crowded out. And Zaniolo not deemed to be fouled by the referee. Asandiao now. Great turn from Asandiao. Now he can get the afterburners on. Soleil had to meet him. Continuing Asandiao. Asandiao still. Is that a block? I think it is. It's off Soleil and out for a corner kick. Great individual skill from Asandiao. Great 1v1 defending from Soleil. Let's have a look at this foul or potential foul on Zaniolo. A lot of contact there with Kakare. Valle got the ball fairly, but probably was fouled in the lead up to that moment, Zaniolo. As Como attack the Udinese home end. Fans up. In fine voice. Lunchtime here in Italy. It will be Kakare, left-footed in swinging ball. Looked for Asandiao, which went over his head. Here is Perrone. Kakare again. You have a creative. That was Smolcic as Como regained their shape. Paz. Kept alive there by Kakare. Perrone looked for the ball, slipped in behind for Dovicas, but once again, the Udinese back three holding solid. Then come the other way now. Pietrowski leading the counter move. Not often the man you'll see doing that. He will be the deeper lying midfielder. He'll be the one doing the sweeping. The one that denies the ball to the likes of Dovicas and Nico Paz. So far, so good though for Udinese. Doesn't make for many goals, but it makes for them a very, very important performance. Christensen. Now Nico Zaniolo. Udinese just keeping ball at the moment. Camera looked to knock it past Smolcic, but intervention there from the right back. Just over 10 to play in this first half. The first half that's sizzled. Hasn't really hit flames just yet. Cabasele. Now Soleil. Get out of danger. Pietrowski now finding camera. The run's made from a deeper position for Mata. And wow. Very, very classy from Diego Carlos. He looks along in the Dovicas direction. He's pressing Cabasele all the way. But he plays out of trouble then. And that Christensen. Ezebue. Continue to probe Udinese. And to be honest, Kenny looked the better side after the first 15 minutes. They'd probably been that more coherent unit. They've negated the Como early pressure. They've rode their luck at times. But now they're playing the game on their terms. That's so important against a Como side that likes to enforce their style, likes to enforce a quicker pace to the game. Nice to get on the ball as much as possible. Get the counter-attacks going. Udinese have done well to keep the ball and keep Como on the back foot. And you can see that there with that foul by Perone. Pietrowski brought to ground. Vamos Como indeed, Francis. Vamos. Fine side, this unit. I think we'll look at this team in the season and say probably the most entertaining, one of the best to watch, and by far the most improved. I thought they could do it last season. I thought they could climb themselves up into European positions, but sometimes we often say this, it's for the best, missing Europe, to allow you to take those bigger steps in seasons following, because to get into Europe, you have to be ready, and maybe they just weren't quite ready last campaign. They've reinforced over the summer last season. Like I said, Nicholas Kuhn not even getting a chance to start, and the midfield looking as strong as ever. You had a bit of centre-half depth. Maybe some more combative figures in midfield to battle for Europe. I think they're ready to go because they've got the quality. Kelekan, Pietrowski, Soleil. Udinese have kept the ball for the last 3 to 4 minutes here. Camera knocks it past Smolcic, whips in the ball. Not quite dealt with. Pietrowski, his shot met the foot of Diego Carlos. Sandial battling away with Pietrowski, and he gets fouled by the midfielder. The Udinese vice president there. I think he'll be very, very impressed with his side start to this game here. They have not been taken aback by what Como want to do. They have not altered their style for Como. They're playing their brand. They're going to play at a slower pace. They're going to defend deep. They're going to make Como defend. And Pietrowski covering the most ground today. Level with Kakare and then Maxime Perone not too far behind. The usual faces you'd think so. Pietrowski, Kakare, absolutely. Has done some great running. Has been all over the park, left and right. And more importantly, has been the man making those dangerous runs in the channels. Here is Kakare being fouled by Karlstrom. I think Cesc Fabregas will be overly impressed, however. Side failed to really make an impact on this game here as the offside flag is up against Duvikas. Now that bright start, they showed some danger in the early passages, but since that point in time, we haven't quite seen that from this Como unit. Over 1.5, Rocky. Maybe be safe. No. Yeah, take what over 1.5. It should be 2 goals in this game here. Como will score, definitely. If they score 1, they probably should score 2, so I'd take that, Rocky. 100%. They did win their last game 2-0 after being level 0-0 at half-time. So if history follows, they should score 2. We might get Udinese scoring 1, and then Como have to strike back to make it 2 goals. Okoye, now with Cabasele. Experienced player. Okoye looking for Ezebue. Didn't quite read that right. And Alex Valle winning that throw. Here is Smolcic. I want to see a bit more of Nico Pats. I haven't seen much of him in the football. Seen a lot of Asan Diao. He's had some half moments. Smolcic went and made the effort to make the overlap. Wasn't used though. Pats. Perone. Da Cunha. So the big names all on it. Valle. Da Cunha's overlapping run. Out to Smolcic. Very defensively orientated Smolcic, so you won't see him too many times him overlapping like we saw previous. Via, he's come narrow. Diao. I don't know if he meant that, but he's dummied it perfectly for Smolcic. Good ball in. Kakare. He was trailing Karlstrom, and Karlstrom can put it behind. Throw for Como. All of a sudden, they just look a little bit more menacing on the football. The commentary team here just mentioned they haven't seen much of Nico Pats because Pietrowski's all over him. Basically a man marking from the central midfielder. Him and... Oh, it's a bit of a loose ball there, but taken in well by Smolcic. Him and Karlstrom have sort of done a man marking job there, and Nico Pats. So we haven't seen much of him so far. Here is that man as mentioned. Rocky, I would back on Como winning. They're one of the more informed sides. You'd expect it should happen. Vayet. Looking for Duvikas. Unable to reach him. Here's Pats. Nico Pats. Oh, he's capable of the spectacular. That was dangerous. He shifted the ball on the right foot instead of taking that left-footed strike, and that just allowed Okoye to get down because the shot lacked a little bit of power. There you go. There's a sign, though, of Nico Pats just growing into the game. It lacked that real intent of power to beat the goalkeeper as Smolcic fouls Atta. Como just showing signs there, though. And Soleil now will get us back underway. 3 minutes to go in this first half. I doubt there'll be anything more than a minute of stoppage time. We've had a quite open and active first half, and there's not many stoppages to be added on. It's been combative. It's been a decent watch. But like I say a lot when I do these lunchtime kickoffs, especially in the Serie A. You give them the first half just to warm up into it, and then the second half, everything happens. And Como know that for a fact. 0-0 in their last game before the international break, before coming out the second half and winning that game 2-0. Just one of their many wins in their recent time. It's a great run of form they're currently on. Sees him in fourth. Kellenkamp caught on it. But in the end, kept it. Fantastic. Pietrowski. Kamada's got some green grass to run into. He's got Atta with the underlap. Uses Atta. Cut back. Straight at Diego Carlos. And Como can play out. Duvikas bundled over. No foul, says the referee, which is quite strange. Pet on it. He was pulled back. No. Wow, the referee is just letting them play. You know what? I'm not against it. That's a great win by Soleil, who's done really well to keep Asandiao relatively quiet. Atta now. Here come Udinese. Kamada. Bute up to make the save. Carlos wants the flag, but the flag never came, so massive opportunity there. He's well and surely offside there. So if they score from this corner kick, there'll be an inquest. So Udinese might have the last dangerous chance of the first half. First half, as I said, that's sizzled without truly cooking, if you would. Some big lads for Udinese. Delivery was dangerous, but couldn't get past the first man of Asandiao. D'Acunha couldn't clear. Advantage played. Soleil. Atta. He's retreating back to his goalkeeper, Okoye, as we approach the final knockings of this first half. Long ball. Who's on the second ball? Zaniolo might be. Bute, though, off his line smartly, as he always is. And Zaniolo able to get on the end of it. How many minutes of added time have we got? Just the one, as expected. Udinese can finish on the front foot. Kamara unable to beat his man. Perone needs to get help here because he's tripped over the ball. Here's a chance. Kamara's ball not dealt with by Valle. And Pietrowski's effort was scuffed, and that could have been a massive chance for Udinese on half-time. Como have shown 2 to 3 times in this first half. They've overplayed at the back and they've caused themselves some problems. But can they finish the first half on a flyer? Lots of space for Kakare and Nico. Pats had a paddock. Kakare picked the wrong option and lost out in the 50-50 duel. Massive chance for Como right at the end here. The referee finally blowing his whistle. Wow, what a finish to the first half. Udinese could have scored at one end. And at the other, Como wasted a massive opportunity. Kakare, if he looked to his left, Nico Pants had a paddock, but didn't feed him in. Cabasele having words with Kakare at the end of the first half. The referees let them play in this first half, I can give you that. Still 0-0. However, Monday Night Football here on the Players Zone channel. We're in for a very, very intriguing second half action. Chances at both ends. Nothing on the score sheet as of yet. Ascendia's been lively for Como, and so has the likes of Atser and Zaniolo for Udinese, but without a goal. I'll go for a short break, guys. We'll be back just before the start of the second half. And for Elijah's request, I'll show you some of the World Cup kits we have for the upcoming World Cup. Stay with me, guys. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right, guys, we're back. But by request of Elijah, I'm showing you the kits I've got for the World Cup before hopefully this game starts. I don't know if you can hear me from up here, but I'll show you all of them. So we're rocking the Amad Diallo one here. We've got the Joshua Kimmich. I'm wondering how this actually sounds. Okay, it doesn't sound too bad. Kimmich. The Sadio Mane. Wataru Endo. Japan kit. Got a Saudi kit because, you know, why not? My favourite, Ashraf Hakimi. The gold text on this is crazy. It's one of my favourites. Brazil away one. I'll get the home one at some point. The Mexico kit, because, you know, host nation. Lovely, that one. And the US, another host nation. Got to get that. Hate the back, but hey, it's pretty cool. Got Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz home kit. Very good. Of course, Lamine Yamal. Have to get Lamine Yamal. It's on there. And we end with the big ones. Qatar first. That's just a simple kit. It was cheap. And then we've got both GOATs. We've got Ronaldo. And we've got Messi. So that is all the kits so far. We've got a Frankie de Jong coming. We've got a Michael Elise coming. We've got more coming. And the Aussie kit, of course, in Australia. I've got the Aussie kit coming as well. But that's the kit collection for the World Cup so far. More coming for that one there. Let me quickly clean this up, and then we'll get going for the second half, guys. But hopefully, Elijah, you saw that. There you go. All the World Cup kits. Alrighty, there we go. If you missed it, run it back. You can see how addicted I am to collecting football kits. If you don't give a shit, welcome back to the second half action. We're not too far away from kickoff here. Second half. Still 0-0, as we were from the start of this game here. Don't think any substitutions have been made, or nothing I've seen on screen at least. Como have really been lacking in that first half there. And I've seen a few people mention that as well. Udinese 1-0 win from Succo. Gee, he's Bold. I respect it. Don't bet on Como. There on in. So they'll be looking to make a response here in this second half. And for Udinese, they'll want the same thing. Really pragmatic, slowed game. The tempo that matches their style of football. Whereas Como want him in the front foot. They want to be playing with pace. Here's an early chance. And he put behind. That's the first corner kick of the second half. And there's Kamara who wins it off Smolcic. Bright from Udinese. And that's what they want to do. Massive, massive men in the box to aim for. So, Camp has got some options to hit. If he can just get it past that first man there. They're all packing into the 6-yard box. Camp straight to Jimbote. Will he go quick is the question. And he doesn't. Udinese allowed to get back. I think the key for the second half for Udinese is what we just saw there on screen. Whenever Como initially instigate and start possession, it's so important they get in their face and try and win the ball back. Here's Enzo Pietrowski, and he's fouled. That's a massive chance there. I think that's the secondary one as well for Udinese. Their key the second half. Make the most of set plays and set piece opportunities. That's where Como can be vulnerable. And that's where they can be beaten. For Como, it's about having some more intent in your play. Looking to break lines. Take the game on. You've got the talent there. Use it. They've had such a nearly game where they've had some good passes and good passages and good with the ball at their feet and then have given the ball away. So important that they have that intent from the off in the second half. They showed it initially in the first half and that disappeared quite quickly once Udinese got their foot on the ball. We've got very, very differing predictions in the comments here. We've got a 1-0 Udinese. We've got Como 4-0. I've gone 3-1 Como. I think someone else mentioned they're going to go over 2 goals. Someone saying one of the owners incentivized both sides to go for a draw. A lot of different viewpoints this one here. Let's see what happens now. Pietrowski and Kellekamp over this one here. It's Pietrowski hits it straight into the wall and he's furious, and as he should be. Massive opportunity missed. There's the man there on the screen, Nico Pats. Haven't seen much of him. We need to see more of him if Como want to get the victory today. Kellekamp sort of making a bit of a block there, but in the end, Smolcic got to it and won that ball back, but gave it straight back to Soleil. He's done a great job in terms of man marking Assane Diao. He's probably looked the most bright and spriteful out of all the Como attackers. Smolcic. Here is Nico Pats. Continue to drop in a bit of a deeper position to allow Maxime Kakare to pick up that central location. That's a poor giveaway. Oh. And Pietrowski wins that off Kempf, who didn't know where to go for the ball or sit back. And in the end, he was caught in no man's land. And that's once again what I kept saying. The press getting in Como's face once they win possession initially. So important. Don't allow them the time to build up from the back. Kamara. And then Perone fouling. And the first yellow card of the game. So the referee's gone in after halftime and changed his viewpoint. Elijah, I prefer not to speak in terms of the money I spent. Every paycheck that comes in on a Tuesday and gets put on a new kit, basically, or a couple of new kits. What are they? I work at a sports store, so I get some of the non-named kits for reduced prices. But every kit that has a name on it, either they got from Singapore or from Kit Bag, and the shipping is a debacle. That's the most important thing. Shipping's at $25 Australian dollars, which is 12 and a half quid. Game's gone areas. I prefer not to speak to Elijah. Let's look at the second half action here between Como and Udinese. That's I'd rather. But I honestly, the kits this year have been awesome. And once all the hype dies down, you will see me buying some of the away kits. Elijah, it's just a retail job right now, so nothing special. But enough to buy some kits and keep me fed. Bet on it. This is better than Como. The thing about 50 kids to Elijah, I actually, like, I've got a shit ton of kits, as you would see from the background of these things. They're all often changing. I actually like collecting kits like I collect football cards. Oh, as if I collect football cards. I don't collect football cards, but for me, kits are like that. So, I like to get or not authentic, or like the replicas, or like from the club stores and stuff. Like I got every single United kit in the last 6 years, like home, away, and third. They got a few home ones from prior to that. Like I just like collecting them. It's a weird obsession, but I just got a cool cabinet. Here's Atta now. Perona, I think, wins that off him. So yeah, it is a Como throw. Thank you, everyone, joining us in on this Monday. Score prediction for myself was 3-1 in the first half. That might need a change with the way this game's going. We've got a 1-1 prediction. We've got a 1-0 Udinese prediction, a 4-0 Como prediction. Plenty. And if you wonder what me and Elijah are talking about, if you go back in time to about half-time, I showed you the World Cup kit collection I'm starting to develop a couple of months in advance of the June kickoff, and I like my own work, to be honest. It's a foul from Duvakas there on Cabasella, who's had quite the game. Probably man of the match so far for me, alongside Atza. Udinese have done the job so far against this Como side. 5 straight wins for them. In the last 10 games, most points, most goals scored, least goals conceded, best pass accuracy. They've been the team to beat in Serie A. So they just haven't quite got out of first gear. Here is Camera. Zaniolo. So it's Atta. Atta. This really has been a surprise for me. I know Udinese can play football. I tell you what, if you nail that, Elijah, there's going to be clips deluxe of me going mental, because if Como can bag 4 in the second half, we'll be start feeding families, I think. Let's hope it. Let's hope some action in the second half. Here's Atta. Great ball looking for Camera, but once again, Jean Boutte collects. Because having a conversation about Jean Boutte and big clubs, I think. He's a very accomplished keeper, a modern-day keeper, likes to come off his line, protects a high line very well, and he's very capable one-on-one. Kakare. Alex Vaya, that is a very, very poor ball. Duvikas has really been frustrated today. Limited opportunities for him to really make anything happen. I think Marta Baturina, it's almost time for him, because the ultimate accompanied type centre forward that can make everyone around him better. Da Cunha now wins the ball back, drives into the space. Here's Nico Pats. He's dangerous here. Da Cunha. Oh, shots on. And Okoye behind it. And it just sort of landed at the feet of Duvakas, and no one reacted. Como first goal, 62nd minute. Mate, Elijah, you are going all in on these predictions. You've gone 0-0 to 4-0, and you've told me the first goal is going to be after the hour mark. We will be there if that happens. We will be there. Here's Atta. He's dropped in a little bit deeper here. He's put Cabasella under a bit of pressure. First touch not quite under control there, but time and space to pick a pass, which he found Smolcic. Perone looked for Duvikas, just a little bit too much for him to reach onto. That's sort of been the theme of things for Como. Whenever they've got on it. I do show him an OBS. I've got a scoreboard, like I've got the application scoreboard, Elijah, which allows me just to allow the time to tick and adjust the goals. Simple, very simple stuff. I do have a stream deck, but the computer sits like there away from the desk. It's not the greatest streaming setup, but it's enough to watch football. That's all that matters. Camp's gone forward here. He's got Zaniolo in the box with a cutback. And In the end, it's blocked and behind for the Udinese corner kick, and those fans are going mental behind the home end. Haven't got the Belgian away. And Elijah, that's the away ones I'll sort out after the World Cup. I think when the hype dies down, I can get them in bulk. I'm trying to get all the home kits basically though for the World Cup. Here's Soleil. Further forward than you expect. Here's Atta. Little outside the football. But it's up Duvikas and out for another corner kick for Udinese. But I do love the Ivory Coast kit. And in fact, I got my boy Ahmad on the back. Big fan as well. So we go again. Udinese lifting. Como struggling. 3 corner kicks already in the first 10 minutes of the second half. They've penned Como in. I think most importantly, they've limited their control of the football. And that's something that not many teams have done this season. Look at the possession stats. It's in favour of Udinese now after in the first 15 minutes. 65, 66% of it were in favour of Como. They created more XG. They got the big chance. More corner kicks as well. All in favour of this Udinese side. Camara's ball in. And Cabacella's header was on target, but lacking the power and precision needed to get past Jean Boutet. Poor giveaway, though, from Jean Boutet. Christensen. And Petrovski's touch was less than desired. Yeah, that's gone out of play against Christensen, and a throw for him. 6 minutes to Como goal. We will be there 100%. Fair play to at the balls, man, Elijah. I popped many on the front yard and stuff. They're long. I had the Brazuca, had the Russian one, and one went into a pool somewhere. One hit a thorn and got popped. Nowadays, they just stay nice and protected. If I go anywhere near 64 kits, it's psycho, but hey, that'd be exciting. I think if I get, a good 35-ish, like the main side, so that when we get to the knockout stages, they're all on display behind me. That's sort of the main thing. So like the likes of, the Belgians, the Croatians and the like. And obviously Australia, because the boys are getting there. Aaron Kunda to the fucking round of 32. See, look at that. Triple substitution on the touchline there for Como. Kind of Camp's getting in behind here, battling away with Diego Carlos and falling over. And they all want a foul, but nothing doing to the referee. So I think it was Batarina Vojvoda. I think it was Sergio Roberto down there as well. All expected to come on now for Como. Cesc Fabregas not happy. I don't think many people will. Wow. A match, but that's pretty impressive. 2018 World Cup. Quite memorable in many regards. But that's the only thing I'm worried about this World Cup. How memorable will it actually be? Especially with all the other stuff that's going on off the field. I just missed 2014. 2014 World Cup was a different era. That was some of the best time ever. That really got me in love with football. Brazil World Cup. Take me back 2014 again. Peak football. So Perone off, allowing Sergio Roberto to jump on in midfield. Batarina coming on for Duvikas. And Vojvoda coming on at fullback. And I'm assuming Alex Valle off. Kakare off. So a couple more defensively orientated substitutions there for Como. So no recognised centre forward. Or Asandial will be down the middle as a centre forward, I guess, for Como. It's a great ball. Camp in behind. And Camp, the ball was there for Atta. Didn't quite reach him. Zaniolo, first touch got away from him. Como now trying to press. Petrovski, fantastic. Udinese just forcing the issue right now. Yeah, Elijah, I'm very keen for the next Euros, to be honest. I think I might head to the United Kingdom for some of those games. That's great strength there from Smolcic to win the ball back for Como. Now they're on the break. Sergio Roberto. Asandiao. Foul by Cabasele. Now look to play quick, you'd think. Asandiao has been bundled over there. I'm very excited for the next Euros. I think it's going to be very, very good, especially considering for once we don't have like a million places that's so far apart at this World Cup. At least in the UK, everything's sort of within a couple of hours of each other. That's the only thing I'm worried about this World Cup, with how separate everything is and different countries, different stadiums. That's the only thing I'm not a fan of. Vaya brought down, but no foul. It's, I think, a big thing. A lot of travel for teams. Yeah, apparently there's a Como goal in the next 50 seconds, if that's even humanly possible. As Akoya takes his time with the goal kick. So Como has swung the axe with 3 substitutions. Asendia now has come down the middle to allow Baturina to come on. So Sergio Roberto and Voivoda. Means that Nico Pants will be central and further up the pitch, which I guess is a benefit for all of us. So Voivoda is right back, Alex Valle left back. It'll be Dacunia and Sergio Roberto in midfield. Baturina at wide left. So Voivoda's going to play as a right winger in many regards, but he'll be supporting the fullback. Nico Pat's getting a foot in. But ends up with Atta. Now Kamara. This is Como's press working very, very well. Paz pressing well. Forced to a long ball. The ball ends up in favour of Udinese. They go quickly. So we retake in. 2 balls on the pitch at once. So we'll start again there. We've got 25 seconds for this Como goal. We're going to need a miracle. A long ball. Because Sergio Roberto's got it in his own half. Como will lose today. I tell you what, Suka, you might be onto something here. They've been poor. But good sides find a way. Voivoda. Sneaks it in behind to Nico Pats down his right-hand channel. Baturina, great footwork. Oh, the opportunity opened up there. Pats wins it back and tries to keep it, but cannot do so. Oh, fantastic play for Atta. To Van Kellekamp. Nico Pats. Crowded out, but a throw in the end. And Kellekamp not happy with how Dacunia held the football there. Yeah, Elias, they did you dirty there, my friend. They don't know to score. Atta's been everywhere. Fantastic game for him. I'm not going to say I called it, but I did call it at the start of the game. So keep an eye on Atta. Keep an eye on Zaniolo. Look at that little flick around the corner. And Kellenkamp's growing into the game as well. It does feel like right now, as Suku said, Como will lose because at the moment, it is Udinese doing all the attacking work. And while we're getting the substitution, this pause in the game. Good point once again. They keep chatting about the World Cup. It's going to be very, very intriguing to see how some of the sides deal with the amount of travel that's going to be happening, because Mexico, Canada, the US are not the smallest places, not the closest places either. So from game to game, I know teams are based in certain cities and the like, but it's not going to be easy on the bodies, especially with how hot it's going to be as well. Graphics on Canva. I get inspiration from TikTok, believe it or not, especially for the match day graphics. I was proud of the last week. I've got a lot of match day graphics made this weekend. Happy with them all. But yeah, inspiration from like Pinterest and TikTok and all done on Canva. Photoshop just above my pay grade. I might get in trouble now that you've said that on a stream live. Here's Sergio Roberto. He's an experienced player that can change his game, I feel like, for Como. Just with the ability to get his foot in the football and make things tick, like this here. Great turn. And Karlstrom fouling him. So the skipper fouling Roberto. Paz. Gee, they've been everywhere all over him. Zaniolo, chance to turn. Met by Diego Carlos, who's been very physical with him all day. Two Aston Villa players. That's the way Diego Carlos plays his football, though. Always trying to intimidate, always trying to be the more physical player. So in the intermission there, Pietrowski off, Miller on. The Scottish international here. Check after the game if you want. Maybe Elijah. It's off Diego Carlos and out for an Udinese throw. Momentum just back in the balance all of a sudden after Udinese had the far better start to the second half action. Okoye goes long. Diego Carlos battling away with Zaniolo. He goes down holding his head. I was saying Kelly Camp, sorry. Kelly Camp's now dealing with some cramp. Don't think he's that warm yet in Italy. So we've got to pause here for an injury. Yeah, exactly that, Elijah, yeah. I'm still, like I've said for all these years, I was supposed to get the TV on a mount. Never did it. I've got like a rolling stand TV mount that I haven't put together because then I could mount the camera on top of it and not have to worry about my legs. But right now, breaking the fourth wall. Desk, TV, cameras above it. And then there's the computer there. The computer's there. That is everything streaming from. And I got my laptop to look at the comments and to see how the stream's faring and to see the stats. That's it. It's pretty low level. Hey, but it works. It works. But it's an Australian away kit. Don't like it. To be honest, I really don't. There's some awesome. If we had a Uruguay template, and then went green and even white, or something like that as an away kit, I'm there for that. But I don't know about this like mango they've got on top of the Australian kit, and the gradient's just a bit rubbish, to be honest. But maybe it grows on me if we win a game in the World Cup. Maybe that's what happens. Sub the clock now for Udinese. So Kellen Camp, after really having a strong little 5-minute period there, is going to make way. And Kamada also off as well. So Adizala on. And who else has come on? Adizala on and Udinese Gay on as well. We've got 20 minutes here. We've had no goal. Disappointing in that regard. Yeah, it's all about not breaking that fourth wall, Elijah, because from your point of view, it looks like everything's under control here. We've just got a little top-down view, but honestly, it's a shambles. Valle, I haven't seen much of him second half. Now Cunha. Can the skipper just ignite something for Como? They need a little bit here. Nico Pads, a bit of space to operate into. This is better from Como. Voivod on the right-hand channel. Underlapping run is made. Ball in. Okoye came across and punched it. That's probably one of the better moves we've seen this second half from Como. Can they just spring to life here? Pads. Needing that pass around the corner. Whipped in ball. Avoided to the back stick. Udinese failed to deal with it. Lack of communication between the two centre-halves there. Baturina, who will just drift into little pockets. Great underlapping run there. Looking for small chits. Unable to reach him. Voivod puts a foot in. This is good pressing from Como in the corner. They've won it back from Atta. Smolcic gets it. Baturina doing fantastic to keep the ball. Really good from Maturina. And it's a Como ball. Fantastic work in front of those Como travelling fans. Don't know what's happened here. Referee. Let's go on to chat with Cabasele and the centre forward. It is a spare room I have. Fastest 5K time. You're full of questions. I've done a 17 minute 55K about 14 months ago. I'm probably at an 18.5 minute 5K right now. I'm not happy with that. I want to improve that. Cross in, dealt with. Como starting a charge here. Much better passage from them. Zaniolo nutmegs Diego Carlos. Atta's away. Gay's the company he's got. Here's Gay. Strike well blocked. I'm assuming referee now will come back and penalise Diego Carlos with that elbow on Zaniolo. Oh, no, it's a good time, but I'm pissed I've gone slower. But it's the life of having 3 things to do rather than just one thing to do. Here's a little nutmeg there, bang, and then just a flying elbow to the neck of Zaniolo. As Diego Carlos does a lot of the time, is he'll be physical, he'll throw his weight around, and he does get the yellow card for that. So we've got 18 to play. Udinese had a strong start to the second half. Como have had the good last 2 to 3 minutes. All of a sudden now the referee is calling fouls. Roberto not happy. Maresca, the referee, just saying, calm down. That's your first warning. Be a shame this one ended in a draw. I know we've got a few people in the comments that have said a draw today. But I really was confident for a Como dominant display. I was confident in a good game of football. Look, it's been a good game to watch, but to stream, not so. Como have really not gotten out of first gear. That can happen lunchtime kickoffs, though. Slow start, and then you can never really get into it. That's sort of feel like it's what happened today for this Como outfit that have won their last 5 games. Udinese have gone and won 2 of the last 5. But a draw or win here will be massive for them. Zaniolo's ball in. Quite poor. Dealt with by Sergio Roberto. Lands at the feet of Baturina. He can go on the counter-attack now. Baturina. Players joining the counter-attack. And then the pass was blocked. Roberto. Ball down the line looking for Hassan Dia, who's filling in now and deputising as a centre-forward. With Duvicas off. Voivoda. Back to Diego Carlos. Pats away from the first challenge. Nico Pats. Looking to link up with Alex Valle. And that's Baturina, who continues just to loiter. Ball in to Roberto! It was a good ball in, but Roberto couldn't get over the top of the cross and headed over the crossbar. That's the best move for Como since probably the 5th minute. Baturina, good whip. Roberto not known for his heading ability. And you could see it there, getting under the ball and heading over the crossbar. Cesc Fabregas had the same reaction as me. Head on hands. Hand on heads. My God. So Soleil gets us back underway. Como, you just feel, can sniff something here. Second half performances have been solid in recent games. It's been a key factor in their recent 5-game win streak. They'll need it here to get this victory versus very, very competitive outfit in Udinese. Butte's ball over struck, and now it's a throw for Udinese. So Fabregas has not looked pleased at all game, and quite fairly so. Udinese boss, though, pretty happy with his team's effort. Can we see this turnaround be complete from Como? Can we see them strike on the score sheet? Butte. Getting back in possession, which is so important. Udinese had won the possession battle since the 15-minute mark. Just staying in for Voivoda. And yeah, it wasn't. It ran out of play. That's been the problem for Como all day. That just last passage there. Can't string together 3 good passes. It's been a frustrating afternoon. Miller. Roberto with him, making the block. And here's Gay. Nico Carlos again being very physical. But the throw is for Udinese as they continue to approach inch by inch towards this goal. Soleil. It's Gay! Boutte makes the big save. That's the biggest chance taken off so far. Atta. Goal kick. Udinese fans right behind that goal are absolutely incensed. Not happy one bit. It looked like it came off Voivoda and how to play, but... Oh, I can't tell from that angle there. It looks like Atta's trailing left leg might have taken a nick off that last. There's that Gay effort. It was onside. Another smart run from Soleil. And the underlapping ball. The referee, interesting this game. Let a lot go in the first half and been very, very quick on the whistle in the second. So Roberto's coming to this game, made an impact. Had that headed effort over the crossbar. Battling in the midfield area. That's a great throw to find Atta, who turns away. That's a yellow card against Smolcic, who just got caught flat-footed there. Atta on the turn. Fantastic work from the Udinese, a young superstar. Atta, 23 years of age, the Frenchman. Three goals and 3 assists this season. 2 goals and 3 assists in 24 appearances in Serie A. But today he's performed as I've seen him perform in many games this season, which is really, really engaged. One of the brightest sparks in this side. Just the output's not quite there for the 23-year-old. Here's a chance for Miller over this set piece. Many an option to hit. Back post where Soleil was. But his effort wide of the goal face. Boutte goes quickly now for Como. Here they are. Driving forward. Roberto Voivoda. Roberto Voivoda again. It's Acuna with space to strike it. And central and low. Okoye quite comfortably in the end. Has not had much to do today. Como yet to really threaten. That's a great touch. See the number 7 of Alvaro Morata on the touchline. He's ready to go. Maybe it calls for a man like Alvaro Morata. So he can whip some more balls into the box. Great win, though, by Smolcic. Here come Como again. Bartolina. Alex Valle. Bartolina in all the pockets right now. Roberto. Those two that have come on have really been good. Bartolina now central. Smolcic. At furthest right-hand side to Voivoda. Bartolina. Sendia's fouled there. Cabasele. They've been going at it since the start of this game. There's been some spot fires everywhere this game. There's nothing in that, but the referee's been watching it every second of the way. It really has been a shame this one hasn't delivered. Elsewhere, Portsmouth lead Oxford 1-0. Millwall and Norwich currently 0-0 after the first 13 minutes over there. Club Brugge lead Anderlecht 3-0 in Belgium. This one is still level. Acuna. Alex Valle. So Morata comes on. Zaniolo off after his recent antics. Can Morata find the score sheet here for Como? They desperately need someone to pop up. Nico Paz has not been his day. Zaniolo hadn't been his day. He got dragged. But Udinese had moments. They've just been starved of coherent attacking play at the moment. Da Cunha hasn't quite had the foot on the ball like he normally does. Kakare off. Here's Morata. Good touch to get away from Christensen. That ball's loose. Under pressure. Soleil has to be careful here. Whoa. Controlling the ball under the Como press. Morata's come on and throwing his body around. That's what you can expect for him. Mila now. Great touch. Little reverse ball. Here comes Atta. Storming in the left-hand side. Gaze in the box. Zaniolo's on the inside of Atta. Waits too long, I thought. The chance is now come and gone. Zaniolo. Atta. Maybe it's a sign of Udinese just happy to take the point. Great footwork. Here's Zaniolo. Oh, great block. Oliver Kempf, as he always does, puts his body in the way of danger. Adizala had a chance there. Skipped away from danger. Cut back, perfect. Zaniolo, maybe the first time effort would be the way to go, but it was drilled at his groin area. Como going to commit numbers at the pitch. It's going to be a chance for Udinese on the break. They can maybe break the team that are the best at the counter-attack. Oh, that's a 9.8 kilometres run. Quite clearly the furthest player has run today. And you can tell that. He's been everywhere for Udinese. Deserves a goal or something in this game, yep. So do those fans. They've been great all day. Back post. Where Gay is. He wants a handball. It's the back of Nico Paz's shoulder, let alone his hand. So no VR needed there, I don't think. Is that Cabasello down? Nothing, and I don't know why we're looking at that. So at last, finally the Udinese corner kick. And that's Nicola Zaniolo over this one. Left-footed in-swinging delivery we can expect. It's dangerous. Oh, Christensen was there. Atta. Got Batterino with him there. Gay's ball is poor. It's falling away of Morata. Yellow card for Ezebue. And Morata was technically through if he knocks that past Ezebue. The first touch, though, was horrid, so I don't think he was actually going to get the head of the keeper. Saying that's why it's a yellow card, not a red. Just for a moment, though, heart and mouth for Ezebue. But Udinese nearly got exposed there. And Morata, as I said, he will run around, he will throw his body around. On timing here, Bertola coming on for Udinese. Van de Brent for Como. To Cabaselli off to allow Bertola to enter the pitch. And we'll see the final substitution for Udinese. Who's coming off here? Looks like Ezebue, yeah. Ezebue is off. Safer Score's having a stinker today. Very slow. So Ezebue off. Zaraga on. And Smolcic off. To Van der Bent on for Como. So all substitutions utilised for both sides now. We're into the last knockings of this one. 4 minutes plus, you'd probably think about 5 or 6 of stoppage time. Long ball. That looks great for Vojvoda. Vojvoda! Oh, gee. He had Morata there. And that is a massive missed opportunity. He's onside. The ball sits up. Morata says he has to cross the ball across the face. The substitute has come on and that's a blunder. If you're going to be in that position, you have to either strike it or set the ball across goal. And the assistant staff are furious, and I would be. That is a massive opportunity out of nothing missed. Udinese have been so good holding the line, and the first time all day they make a mistake, Vojvoda's in and he's wasted it. Ball pinging around, Acuna the skipper. Dispossessed by Gay. Zaniolo. Carlos cleans him out. He's on a yellow card, by the way. Gay. Zarago just came on. Zaniolo has been in the wars. It's normally because of Diego Carlos as well. Oh, Christensen's had a nick by Nico Pads. And now Morata's been bundled over. And that's a yellow card. Now, Diego Carlos has upended Zaniolo in the build-up. And he's on a yellow card. Great high press for Nico Pads to win that ball back. And then Christensen had to bring down Alvaro Morata. So, free kick for Como. Set plays attacking-wise. Can they make it work? We are in to the last 2 minutes of regulation time. You've got Pats, Van der Brent, Vojvoda, Morata, Kempf all up there. And Diego Carlos as well. Christensen, a yellow card confirmed. Acuna looking for Diego Carlos. Vojvoda can't keep it alive. Another wasted set piece in this game. I have seen Lego prices a lot there, yeah. I wanted the World Cup, to be honest. I really did want that. It could be a good addition to the set. But that, yeah. I might need to win the lottery or win a multi for that one there. Udinese, fair play today. They have warranted it a point. They have shut down this Como side that have been firing in all cylinders. They've been one of the most intriguing sides to watch. But today they've been really sluggish. Sluggish after that Easter Sunday lunch, maybe. Udinese have been up to the task. They've been combative. They've been physical. And Como have been their worst enemy, like we see there. Long balls just going missing. Quia can come and collect that one quite quickly and easily. Final few moments of the 90. Such a shame with how Como performed. Really underwhelmed. Shadow of their best selves. Initial contact one by Gay. Zaniolo picks it up. He sends it up into the sky as well. Atta fighting. Kempf is down. Head collision, so he has to pause the game, the referee. Just a hand and a foot from Gay that collects the centre-half in the face. Thank you for everyone who's joined in today. I'm sorry the game is not delivered on this Monday. Napoli-Milan, obviously the big game tonight. On the Serie A. It is 5 minutes to add on. I had a feeling it would be that sort of time. Elsewhere, Brugge 3-0 up at half-time over Anderlecht. Portsmouth 1-0 over Oxford at half-time. And still 0-0 between Millwall and Norwich. Obviously, watching Millwall on the Friday. What a game that one was there. It's been all Norwich in the looks of things. Couple changes to that Millwall side that beat Middlesbrough. 2-1 coming from behind there. Still the same back line. Goalkeeper, but a few changes. Bannon back into midfield. It's Coburn and this time Kundal leading the line for Millwall. That's going on elsewhere. Big day in the Championship as well on the Easter Monday. Ipswich Birmingham will be intriguing. As will be Blackburn and West Brom, who continue to try and fight to stay up in the division. No, 100% Elijah. I've enjoyed watching it, but I know some people can't actually watch these Serie A games. So sometimes the reaction is enough for people to tune in, but I'm very glad everyone's tuning in for this one. It's been a great crowd in once again for Serie A football. Last knockings now. Van den Bremt. Great run. He's found Morata. Was he offside? Let to play. Now the flag's up. Don't know why the referee didn't put up earlier. But yeah, to your point, Elijah, it's been a good game of football. It's a shame I haven't seen the best of Como. I did talk him up as I opened the stream up. I talked them up as the best team in the world right now in terms of the form. And they probably have been, but today's not been that. And the people who predicted the draw, people who predicted a Como loss, well, I'll give you that. Because Udinese have been fantastic and probably warrant at least a point, probably 3 points. Yeah, over here, being sport over here in Australia to watch the Serie A. Alex Valle, left-hand channel now for Baturina. He's just out wide left. Da Cunha, and that summed up his afternoon. Miscontrolling that ball. Ata's just kicked that out of play. So we've got 2 minutes to go. Long ball there, looking for Morata. Doesn't reach him. Van den Bremt gets stuck in. And right now, it's just wherever it will do for Udinese. Long throw for Van den Bremt. Looking for Morata. Dealt with by Soleil. He's had a great game at the back. Zaniolo continues to compete all day long. Roberto. 90 seconds to go. Valle. Baturina drifting at wide left here yet again. Bartola, the substitution, matching him. Valle. Roberto. Nico Pats. Has the magician got one more trick up his sleeve in the last knockings? Vojvoda can't get space to whip a ball in. Well, now he can. He's taken too long and he's given it away. Awful from Vojvoda. That's off Atta. So Pads keeps Como alive. The fans lift in that corner there. A minute to go. Van den Bremt should launch this throw in. Goes looking for Morata. Wins first contact. Anywhere will do right now for Udinese. Boutte well and truly off his line. Hoofs that one into the sky. And Van den Bremt can't take it down. That should be that. Well, a lot said about Como in the build-up, by me in particular. They haven't quite fired in this one here, but fair play to Udinese. I wrote it in the description of the game. They are the team that no one wants to come up against. Such a hard team to play against. And today they've shown that once again. They've been super competitive. They've fought tooth and nail with Como and disrupted the Como style of play. Every time Como looked to try and get back in control, Udinese have matched them. Physically, on the football as well. It's been one hell of a performance. The 5 are up. They're going to keep going. Boutte long. No one met that one there. Baturina. Soleil gets a foot in. Is there one last attack here? Kitchen sink type stuff now. Da Cunha wants some space. Bartolina. Cutting inside. Bartolina still. They're running out of time here, Como. D'Acunha losing his footing. Ketelato Bartolina. They need to get a ball into the box. Valle. And that is very, very poor. That will do us. That has been very, very underwhelming for Como. That last attack showed it. Slipping over, giving the ball away. Poor first touch. They've looked slow today. Both will be very disappointed in this performance. Yeah, I don't know who that guy was, Elijah. 4 goals. Pfft. Italian football, never. Okoye gets the game finished off. So, 0-0 it was in the end. Debut Monday Night Football. Didn't quite deliver the goals, but look, it delivered an intriguing game. Zaniolo, Udinese, Atta, they're going to be proud of their efforts. They really took it to this Como side, who struggled just to get going. One of their worst performances of the campaign. Atta, probably the player of the game alongside Soler at the back for Udinese. But for Como, I guess they still stay unbeaten in this recent good run of form. Thanks for joining me, guys. It's been a great crowd in for this Monday game. It ends Udinese 0, Como 0. Have a great week, ladies and gents. And I'll see you guys next week for another live stream very, very soon. I think more Serie A action to come next week. But keep your eyes peeled on the Instagram channel, the Player Zone YT Instagram channel, or on the YouTube channel for the upcoming streams. See you next time, Elijah. See you next time, everyone in the comments. And everyone joined us around the globe. It's been a great Monday night of football. Until next time, I'll see you very, very soon.